Hi student, welcome to my channel. Today I am discussing about the biomolecule. In biomolecule, one of the monosaccharide is very important, that is glucose. Glucose molecular formula is C6H12O6. It is also known as dextrose. It is also known as another name, grape sugar. Reason, it is present 20% in grapes. Not only in grapes, all other fruits also. In honey also. But mainly 20% present in the grapes. That's what is called grape sugar. Dextro meaning this compound, chiral compound, rotate the plane polarized light to the right side. That's what is called dextrose. It is denoted with the plus sign or small d. This is called dextrose. In laboratory, in the box, it is represented as the dextrose only. That's why keep in mind glucose also known as dextrose. And preparation of glucose. The first one is sucrose on acidic hydrolysis. It gives glucose. Another is fructose. Next, second one, maltose on acidic hydrolysis. It gives glucose. But what is exact? It's sometimes they may ask alpha D glucose or beta D glucose. What is alpha beta? You will learn next. So now I am writing just alpha D glucose. Here this is alpha D glucose. This is beta D fructose. Next, third one, lactose on acidic hydrolysis. It gives, one is beta D glucose, another one is beta D galactose. Next, fourth one, polysaccharide in that starch on hydrolysis. What is the starch formula for these three? Molecular formula is C12H22O11. Sucrose molecular formula, maltose molecular formula, lactose molecular formula will be same, but their configuration will be different. Starch molecular formula C6H10O5, taken N, then it gives alpha D glucose units. That is number of alpha D glucose units. Similarly, the fifth one, that is cellulose. Cellulose, same on acidic hydrolysis, it gives a number of beta D glucose. This is preparation of glucose. Next one, the structure determination of glucose. In determination of structure, of glucose, the first one point, we know that molecular formula of glucose, what is that? C6H12O6. Then what is the exact structure? How to determine? In that, this is not considered the point, just we know. First one is glucose react with the HI on prolonged heat. Then it is converted into N-hexane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbon. This is called N-hexane, normal chain hexane. So based on this, we conclude that in glucose, all atoms are in normal chain, or we can say straight chain. This is a straight chain atoms. Second one, glucose react with hydroxyl amine. Glucose react with the hydroxyl amine, it form oxime. Next, glucose react with the HCN, then it form cyanohydrine. Cyanohydrine. Next, based on this, generally hydroxyl amine and HCN react with the aldehyde and ketone. They form their respective oxime and cyanohydride. So, based on this reaction, we concluded that glucose having one is aldehyde group or keto group. It is keto. This is aldehyde. So it may be having the aldehyde group or keto group, which is exactly we don't. That purpose we are doing the next reaction. The glucose react with the bromine water. It is mild oxidizing agent. Then it forms gluconic acid. That formula I am writing here, gluconic acid. CH2 OH OH H OH H H OH, because sometimes they may ask the question which of the following is gluconic acid. That purpose I am writing this formula. This is called gluconic acid. This is gluconic acid. So this is bromine oxidation state is 0 and here it converted to 2Br minus. Bromine from 0 oxidation state to -1 oxidation state it is reduced. So oxidizing agent generally itself it is reduced and oxidized to others. So it is mild oxidizing agent. This bromine oxidized to aldehyde group only but not ketone. Based on that we conclude that it is glucose having aldehyde group only, not keto. Next one. Sometimes it is react with the Tollens and Fehling reagent also and it gives a gluconic acid. So I am writing that reaction also here. Glucose react with the Tollens, Fehling, Benedict reagent. All three will use a gluconic acid. But in competitive exam, what type of question will ask based on this third point? Glucose having aldehyde group. It is determined by 1. Bromine in water. Second one Tollens. Third one is Fehling. Fourth one is all. So all will give the gluconic acid, mean we will identify with the bromine water, Tollens, Fehling, mean will that all, or which is the correct answer. So the suitable answer is bromine in water, because Tollens reagent react with the fructose also, because fructose having the keto group, and this Fehling reagent also react with the fructose and having that is keto group. Then how to identify aldehyde group present in the glucose with the bromine in water only, correct one. Because why they react with the keto group? Actually these are do not react with the keto group, but these are carried out in basic medium only. That purpose this glucose is converted into fructose, that is called isomerization. That is called Labrie-de Bruyn-Van Ekenstein reaction, that we will discuss how it is converted. So here which is the best answer, meaning bromine in water. Next one, that is the fourth one. Glucose react with the acetic anhydride, then it form pentaacetate. What is the pentaestate glucose? CHO, because aldehyde group is conformal. And next is CHO double bond O CH3. This is 4 times, and here CH2O C double bond O CH. This is ester. So how many here pentaestate is estate group? How many are there? Here 4 and here 5. Total 5. So pentaestate glucose. Based on this reaction, we concluded that glucose having 5 hydroxy group on different atoms. If maybe 2 hydroxy group on the same atom, that is unstable. That's why we have to conclude that all 5 hydroxy groups on different atoms only. Then only that glucose will be stable. Next, the fifth one. This glucose react with HNO3, then it convert into saccharic acid. What is the saccharic acid formula? COH, COOH, OH, OH, OH and OH. This saccharic acid formula. So, based on this reaction, we concluded that already this is aldehyde group, that's why it is converted to COH with the HNO3. Remaining are not converted. HNO3 is oxidized to only primary alcohol and aldehyde group, but not secondary alcohol. So secondary alcohol groups are as it is there. So based on this, we conclude that it is primary alcohol group, one primary alcohol group present in the glucose. Next, sixth one, that is glucose react with the phenyl hydrazine. Then it form osazone. This is one of the identification tests for monosaccharides. But very important thing is glucose react with the phenyl hydrazine form osazone. In that, how many moles of phenyl hydrazine is utilized? That is 3 moles. Generally in its structure it appears as a 2 moles utilized, but in total mechanism it is 3 moles of phenyl hydrazine utilized. This is a very important for competitive exam. So keep in mind what are the important points. Sometimes they may ask the question, glucose react with the A and it form N-hexane. What is the A? It may be HI, it may be HCN, it may be bromine in water, it may be HNO3. Then what is the answer? That is HI. So what type of question will ask in competitive exam, we have to think about this. So some of the possible questions also I taught here. Next one, what is the structure of this glucose? So the open chain structure proposed by one of the scientists named Bayes. He given the open chain structure based on these 6 properties and also some of the other properties. There are some of the other properties behind the scope of our syllabus, that is I am not discussing here. So open chain structure is C double bond O has this aldehyde group. Next one, primary alcohol group based on the HNO3 reaction. And next one, this is bromine water indicating the aldehyde group is present, and remaining are secondary alcohol groups, it indicating pentaestate. How many hydroxy groups are present? Based on the acetic anhydride reaction, we will get the pentaestate glucose. So we have these 5 hydroxy groups. In that, one is primary, remaining are secondary. So this is open chain structure given by the scientist name Bayer. It is simply known as D plus glucose. It is known as D plus glucose. The IUPAC name of this open chain structure is 2, 3, 4. Otherwise, I will write their configuration also exactly here. 2R, 3S, 4R, 5R. Here these are the chiral carbons. This chiral carbon RS nomenclature. So this is R, this is S, this is R, this is R. So these are the RS configuration. And next, this is not chiral, and then it is sixth. Total how many hydroxy groups are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 penta acid, penta hydroxy. Total 6 carbon, hexane, E remove, aldehyde group, that's why Al. This is IUPAC name of this open chain structure proposed by Bayes. Next, this open chain structure explains many properties, but few properties could not explain. What are this property? One is glucose do not react with the Skipp's reagent. Another one ammonia. Another one sodium hydrogen sulfide. Second, glucose do not react with the hydrazine. Which glucose this is? Pentaacetate. Glucose do not react with the hydrazine. Reason why it is not reacting? Based on this reaction, we conclude that there is no free aldehyde group. That's why it is do not react. Actually, glucose mean compulsory react with the aldehyde group mean compulsory react with the Skipp's reagent with ammonia and sodium hydrogen sulfide and hydrazine. So this is they are carbonyl compound react, but here not reacting means we have to conclude that there is no free aldehyde group. And third one, it's showing the muta rotation. Muta rotation. What is the muta rotation? First we will discuss about the alpha and beta form of the glucose. Then we will discuss about the muta rotation. So now I am discussing about the alpha and beta form of glucose. So what is alpha and beta form of glucose? This double bond will shift here. This lone pair of oxygen attached to this carbon, it may be from the bottom side or maybe top, because double bond is a planar like this, carbon and oxygen. So this oxygen bond will attack from the bottom or top. Then we will get two configuration of alpha and beta. So O minus, this is CH2 OH, and this will be already OH is there, OH left side, OH right side, OH right side. So this is already reacting. That's why OH react with this. Otherwise, we will write from the top better. Okay, and here already hydrogen is there. So here positive charge will get. This H will be added to here. Then we will get here hydrogen. Keep in mind this should be curved shape only. In textbook may be given like this. So this corner indicating here carbon. That's why curved shape represent, that is better representation than this corner type bond. So this is 1 because due to this attack of O from the bottom or top, we will get two configurations of this chiral carbon. Now one newly generated chiral carbon, this is OH is right side. So at this first carbon OH is right side, then it is called alpha D plus glucose. Next one, if OH is left side, then it is OH H CH2 OH. The remaining part is same as it is. OH H OH H H OH. This is already there. I wrote some more lengthy, that's why it is like this. And here H. This is beta D plus glucose. Okay. So this alpha, this beta. If here open chain structure is there, open chain already this left side is there. This open chain structure. So alpha is converting into open chain structure, and beta is converting into open chain structure. So a saturated solution of alpha D glucose placed in water, and glucose placed in water. So its specific rotation is slowly, gradually changed to equilibrium value. If beta D glucose is placed in water, that also gradually change its specific rotation into a equilibrium value, or mixture of alpha D glucose, beta D glucose placed in water, then its specific rotation value change to equilibrium value. The spontaneous gradual change of specific rotation of this carbohydrate is known as mutarotation. What is that mutarotation? Spontaneous gradual change of specific rotation. This is specific rotation representation of carbohydrates is known as mutarotation, or a optically active compound also you can write. So that is called mutarotation. What is the value of this alpha D plus glucose specific rotation? It is 112.2. In some books it is given 112 only. In some books it is 100 and this 11 only. It depends upon the books only. This specific rotation of alpha D glucose. This is 18.7 and here it is 52.7. This open chain specific rotation. This is beta D glucose specific rotation. This is alpha D glucose specific rotation. So small changes we will observe in the different books. In some books it is given 19 degree, here 52 only given. In some books 52.7 given. It is given 11 or 111 or 112 given. It depends. Small change is there in book to book, so that is not much problem. Just observe this. So what is the, how to get this alpha D glucose unit? A saturated solution of, a concentrated solution of glucose on crystallization at nearly 303 Kelvin temperature. So we are getting this alpha D glucose, a crystallization of concentrated glucose solution at 303 Kelvin, and this will be beta D glucose. We are getting crystallization of a hot saturated glucose solution at nearly 317 or 370 something temperatures. You can observe the book, not exactly remember. At two different temperatures we are getting this alpha and beta D glucose, and their melting points are different. So generally it having the somewhat higher temperature, it having the lower temperature. These are somewhat, it is less stable, this is somewhat more stable. At equilibrium position, this alpha and beta form are, alpha form is nearly 36% and beta form is nearly 64% at equilibrium position. This is very important. They may ask in competitive exam, what is the percentage of alpha at equilibrium position? Mean 36. What is the beta percentage? Mean 64%. It is nearly 1:2 ratio in equilibrium position. So this can be represented in Harvard form also. And these two observe here, alpha D glucose and beta D glucose. First carbon is mirror image to each other. Second carbon onwards, not mirror image. So these are not mirror image to each other. Alpha and beta form are not mirror image to each other. That's why these are not epimers. These are not enantiomers. These are diastereomers. Very, very important concept. This is diastereomers. Alpha and beta D-glucose are diastereomers, not enantiomers. And this carbon is known as anomeric carbon. What is the anomeric carbon? Configuration different at hemiacetal carbon or first carbon in cyclic. That is called anomeric carbon. So alpha and beta form are known as diastereomers. Next, epimers. What is the epimers? Epimer is configuration is different at one of the chiral carbon. So glucose and mannose and galactose and tallose, allose, iodose, altrose, all these are having configuration difference at only one carbon with respect to glucose or any one compound considered. For example, I am writing here glucose structure we know, open chain structure. This is OH, OH, and next OH, H, H, OH, and H, OH. This is glucose. If you observe the mannose, CHO, CH2OH, and this is OH, H, remaining part is same OH, H, OH. So give the number according to IUPAC. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here also 6. So configuration here right side, here left side. That's why glucose and mannose are C2 epimers. Epimers meaning what is that? The diastereomers which are having configuration different at any one of the carbon or any one of the atom. One atom position configuration should be different, not 2, 3 atom configuration different. Only one atom configuration difference, that is called epimers. Okay, generally these are diastereomers. So this is glucose, this is mannose, this is glucose. Similarly, galactose. So I am not writing time, somewhat consuming process, that's why. Glucose and galactose are, these two are C4 epimers. It means configuration different at the fourth carbon. It means here weights right side is here, in galactose will be left side, remaining will be same. So this is C4 epimers. So this type of question will ask in competitive exam. So we know that only glucose or mannose or galactose structure. Sometimes they may ask the question RAXL. These are pentose. These are hexose. Or it means aldehyde group having and 6 carbon. That's aldohexose. These are aldopentose. What is RAXL mean? This is ribose. This is arabinose. This is xylose. This is lixose. So these two are epimers, these two are epimers. Because their configuration is different at C2 position, their configuration is different at C2 position. If you observe their configuration. So today I will conclude with the Haworth structure of glucose. What is the Haworth structure of glucose? So first one, we know alpha and beta form of glucose. This is alpha form. Alpha form, Haworth structure is like this. It is six member ring. This is one here carbon, two, three, four, five, six member. So with respect to carbon, if you give, then number this will be 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is a 4, this is a 5, this is 6 consider. So here first carbon, second carbon, third, and this is a fourth, this is a fifth, this will be the sixth later will be. So generally right side groups are down, right side groups are down, and left side groups are up. So these are the right side group, these are the left side group. So right side group should be down. So right side group is here, which one? OH. Left side group is H. And next here OH, H. Next OH will be up, and here H. Next OH is down, and here H up. Now at this position, this CH2 is not right side or left side, exactly in vertical line. Then how to write? So actually in double inversion we will get this will be H down, this will be CH2OH up. If you want open chain structure, we know what is this open chain structure? C double bond O, and this will be the H. Next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Correct? Then here at first position we know that right side OH is this one now, open chain structure. OH, H. Next OH, H. This chiral carbon is aldehyde, then come to OH. That's why I am not in this one. From here onward, OH right side, OH left side. Next OH at fourth position is next H. Then at fifth position, what is this? Right side. Fifth position, right side mean OH will be down, and this will be up H, and this will be CH2OH. Then this will be rotate. When this will be rotated here, this will come here, this will come here, this will come here. It means this OH comes to this position. So after rotation, I am writing here, carefully observe. After rotation, here OH, here CH2OH, and here will be H. So here lone pair is there, this lone pair attack with this like this. Then it forms this cyclic, because this O and H going to OH, it may be up or down. That's why now CH2OH is, which side is there? Up. That's why this is up. This is alpha D glucopyranose. It is similar to the pyran structure. That's why it is known as pyranose. This is pyran. 6 member ring. This is also 6 member. That's what is called pyranose. O is generally suffix for the carbohydrates. Okay. Then beta form. Beta form we know. This is OH left side, OH right side, OH left side, next OH right side. Total 6 carbon. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At first carbon OH right side, that is alpha. At first carbon OH left side, that is beta. That's why it is beta D glucose. This can be written as in Haworth structure. Haworth structure. It is for PUC level, it is a very important question. They may ask the question, write the Haworth structure of alpha D glucose and beta D glucose. So this is Haworth structure of beta. Right side groups are down, left side groups are up. So now here right side is H, OH is up, H is down. This is C1, C2, C3, C4, C5. Then at second position, H is up, OH is down. And next third position, OH is up and H is down. Fourth position, H is up, OH is down. After this rotation, we will get CH2, OH, H will be down. That's why keep in mind CH2OH always up, remaining part in cyclic, right in Fisher position, right side groups are down, in Fisher position, left side groups are up. So this is called beta D. If you want here plus also write, plus indicating dextro. This is plus glucopyranose. Glucopyranose. So these are very important 1 or 2 marks question for seed level. Sometimes they may ask in competitive exam, they may give option which of the following is the alpha D glucopyranose or beta D glucopyranose. So this is very important. But sometimes they may ask which is the more stable, alpha or beta. So alpha or beta, which is more stable to know, then we will first convert into chair form. In chair form, how to draw this chair form? Two parallel line unequal. If you want, this is like this. This is. So this is oxygen, alpha form. So here alpha form is present at axial position. This is equatorial position. Remaining R we can turn to equatorial position. H is axial. Then this will be OH, equatorial, this hydrogen. This fourth position equatorial, H, and this will be CH2, OH, equatorial position, this is H. If you come to this beta, then we will get beta position OH is like up is there, then we can write up only. Here down is there, that's why it is down, and this hydrogen is down. This is OH equatorial, H up, OH equatorial, H up, and this is equatorial up hydrogen, CH2, OH, and this one. So generally groups are present, atoms or groups are present at equatorial position, that is more stable. So if you observe in beta, all OH groups are at equatorial position. These all are at equatorial, but the first carbon OH is at axial position. That's why this is less stable, this is more stable. That's why at equilibrium position it is 64%, this is less stable. That's why it is nearly 36%. So today I discussed maximum about the glucose preparation, structural elucidation, and alpha and beta form and mutarotation. Mutarotation means what is that? A spontaneous gradual change of specific rotation of a optically active carbohydrate. That is called mutarotation. This mutarotation will be speed up by adding a small amount of acid or small amount of base. So thank you very much.